point had a story? Bro, everyone talks shit about all the different COD campaigns, but one thing we all agreed on was that Black Ops 4 should have had one. Why? If you don't care about anything but the end game, that's fine. But you have to acknowledge that other Diablo fans play these games for different reasons than you. Where is that fabled experience? I replay Diablo games every year. If the campaign is not the core experience, then the game has failed as a Diablo game in my eyes. Nope. Yeah. Nope. You're not supposed to play these games for the campaign. Not allowed. We're shutting the doors on you. This is a gated community. You literally complain the game is too easy, yet when you encounter the first difficulty spike, you stop playing. More like Clown Man. These people don't even know that they're agreeing with me. So we agree that the first difficulty spike happens after you beat the game, right? That's a problem, dude. That's a problem. You're wearing the clown mask too. Try playing the game after level 50. 75% of your complaints are...
I'm going to jump on this because I love the Act Man's videos, but like this point right here, saying try and play the game after level 50. 75% of your complaints are moot right after the point where you stopped. So that means that 75% of his points that he made are valid. Like up to level 50, every critique he made, 75% of his comments were correct. In other words, this guy is saying that, yeah, the game is shit until you get to a certain point. And this is what I never understood from any fan base ever. What is the point of playing games? To have fun, to get captivated, you know, get involved in the world, you know, but to enjoy yourself, to relax. If you have to grind to get to the enjoyable part, I'm not interested, and I don't blame anybody who is. I never understood the idea because they'd be like, oh no, that's the game, that's the nature of MMOs or whatever. I'm like, well, that's a bad nature. You can't be like, oh, I need to put up with shit. Click, bang, click, bang, click, bang, waiting to get to level 70 or level 50 before the game becomes good. The game should be enjoyable all the way through. Why do you have to log 30 hours in the game you don't enjoy before the game gets good? Like, I have to put up with it. I've got to put up. Why is that a defensible position? You fucking idiot. Anyway.
Moot right after the point where you stopped. So what you're saying is 75% of my complaints were valid up until the point I stopped. They don't know they're agreeing with me. If you agree with me, then stop defending it. Imagine not even getting to the end game, making a review and thinking your opinion matters.
Every single person who plays any game has an opinion. Whether that opinion is valid or not is just based on experience from playing games and, you know, like the actual experience within that type of game. People will make concessions because, you know, it's their favorite developer, or they'll be like, oh, that's just the way the thing is done. Just because the way the thing is done doesn't mean it's actually correct. Like, imagine not even getting to the end game, making a review and thinking your opinion matters. It absolutely matters. Of course it does. He didn't get to the end game because he didn't enjoy the content. He's next time I actually play the game because you missed a ton of actual issues before. So he missed even more problems that he wasn't aware of. This pisses me off. Like, I don't know why there's fanboys of any genre, even consoles. Why are you a fan of Xbox or Sony? Who gives a fuck? But at the end of the day, every single aspect of the game should be fun and enjoyable, and you want to play more because it's fun. Because you love it. The idea that like you have to like, oh, you need to get to level 50. Well, how long does that take me? 20, 25 hours. So I've got to grind for 20, 25 hours before the game gets fun. No fucking sense.
Next time, actually play the game because you missed a ton of actual issues. What? The game is worse than I thought it was? There's some issues I didn't even notice? You guys are terrible at selling me on this endgame content. I don't know what type of sales strategy this is, but it's fucking awful. I don't think you can provide a proper critique of D4 if you never played D3. So many things were already solved in D3 and they just completely ignored them when designing D4. It's embarrassing. Okay, so they solved problems in D3 and then reintroduced those problems in D4. Again, I have no idea how Blizzard managed to gaslight so many people into agreeing that D4 is worse than previous titles, and then that is somehow acceptable. Bro has some pretty horrible takes. He didn't even make it to endgame and just played it as a story-driven game and not a...
What is that comment? What is that? What is that? Bro has some pretty old. He didn't make it to endgame. Why do you need to make it to endgame for it to be valid? It makes no fucking sense. You didn't make it to endgame because you thought the game sucked. It was a slog. It was a drag. It didn't captivate you. No, like I'm not gonna go like fucking. And again, the argue is you got to make it to endgame. You got to get level 70, like, and get your stuff, and then no, like I'm not going to spend 35 hours getting to the point where I'm like, oh, now the game's good. Yeah. What the fuck is that? You just played as a story-driven game. Like, oh, how dare you enjoy the campaign? Campaign, you know, like the literal story that brings you in to the world and gets you to know the characters. Nah, man, like fucking get clicking on that keyboard. Fucking go to dungeon. Get those items. What a fucking dumbass.
An ARPG. You guys legit have campaigns and stories that are on par with the best of StarCraft and Warcraft. On par with the best of Halo and Call of Duty. And you think that shit is unimportant? You think that's irrelevant? What the fuck happened to the Diablo fan base? How could any of you possibly arrive at that conclusion after Diablo 2? This is just insane to me. No wonder the games are so bad. You guys have no fucking standards whatsoever. The problem with this review is that Ackman approaches D4 as a casual ARPG player, but then again, I thought D4 was supposed to be tailored for the casual ARPG player, which not only leaves Diablo in a weird place as an RPG, but also an ARPG. Well, that's the thing, because I'm not a casual ARPG player. I'm a single player enthusiast. I'm a lone wolf. I like to play solo and immerse myself in the world, the lore, and challenge. You know, I love Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2, Gauntlet Dark Legacy. You know, back in the day, you beat these games and then they were over. So the only thing to do was play them again. And that's what I did. And that's what I do today. When I beat Diablo 2, I don't grind Baal 100 times. I either play a new difficulty on the same character or start a new character entirely. But see, like, having said that, there's gonna be Diablo fans that want to gatekeep the series from me because that's how I enjoy it and play it. Simply because I don't play it in the most hardcore way possible. So allow me to do a little gatekeeping of my own. I guarantee you if some of these Diablo fanboys went back and played the first game, they would lose their fucking mind. Yeah, why don't you go back to the game where every time you open a chest, there's a 33% chance that it just explodes in your face for no reason? Yeah, go back and fight the zombies on level 5 that permanently reduce your HP every time you get hit. Yeah, go back and fight those guys as a melee build. Why don't you try clicking on a random shrine that fucks up your build and takes away your stats? Yeah, go back and experience that, then we can talk about gatekeeping. The goal of modern RPGs is generally to create a fake feeling of depth so that newer gamers and non-gamers think they are playing something epic. They know hardcore gamers are going to grind it out and drop it. They also know if they can string casuals along with a system that seems deep but is actually shallow and simple, means they will play for literally ever. Couldn't have said it better myself. That sounds like a business proposition.
Basically, I'm not going to like watch the entire video. I just want to keep it short here. But like the entire premise of any fanboyism for any genre, you know, I just never understand, because if you're a fan of something, you want it to be the absolute best it can possibly be. Like I never understand like Trumpers, you know, fucking MAGA guys. Like if you believe in something and you want that thing to be good, then you should absolutely criticize it to the absolute point where, like, you know, they can be the best that they can, or anything that you truly love, you should be able to criticize it and hope it prospers based on that criticism. The idea that, like, well, this guy didn't do this, or oh no, he's infallible. Anything's infallible. You know, this company's infallible. You know, they can't do no wrong. Crap. If you truly want something to prosper and you have concerns, you should voice the concerns. I just don't understand any fanboys or stans or whatever the hell you want to call them of any group. If they do something wrong, call them out. So they do better. Don't go, oh no, they didn't mean that, or that was better. Give them time. Stop placate. Like, why are you defending? They fucked up. They fucked up. Admit they fucked up. And then they'll not fuck up again in the future, hopefully. You don't have to defend every single action a company, a person, you know, a group takes just because you love, like, the stuff they've made or created, whatever. If anything, you're doing more harm than good. Hold them accountable for the correct action. And that's all I've got to say. We're just like super pissed at this episode for this. YouTube video. See you next time.